God warned the children of Israel not to follow the practices of the Canaanites. He says in Deuteronomy 18, verse 9, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee so to do. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren. Like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. And so this is the source of the information and knowledge that the Canaanites gained. People go to diviners and witches and wizards and necromancers, astrologers, because they want to learn the future. They want to learn what's around the corner. They want secret, occult, or hidden knowledge. And God says, this is why I'm driving these nations out. These things are an abomination. No, I'm gonna speak to the people through a man like Moses. I'm going to speak to the people through a prophet, and I'm going to raise up a prophet like Moses. And when I do, you need to hear him. Well, in Jerusalem, Peter was preaching in Acts chapter 3, and he tells the people, he says, for Moses truly said unto the fathers, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear in all things whatsoever he shall say unto you. And then in verse 26 he says, unto you first, God having raised up his Son Jesus Christ, sent him to bless you in turning away every one of you from his iniquities. Jesus is the prophet that Moses promised. He's the one who's going to speak to all of us. And when he does, he's going to speak the truth, and he's going to bring us the message from the Father. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1 says, God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son. And so when we contrast these things there in the book of Deuteronomy, it's easy to see the difference. The Canaanite tribes, they sacrificed their own children. They went to witches and diviners who used means. They cut open animals and looked at their entrails. They rattled the bones and threw bones in certain ways. They used necromancy. They claimed that they could speak to the dead. All manner of different things. Observing the positions of the planets and the stars. All of these practices, God says, they are an abomination. The reason that those nations did that is because they were listening to those enchanters. That's who they were listening to. God says, I don't want you to listen to the enchanters. If you listen to the enchanters, you're going to get the word of the devil. No, I want you to listen to God. And God is going to send you his man. For that period of time, he sent Moses. But then came the day that he sent his Son. And he said, in these last days, he's spoken to us through his Son. I just want to encourage you this morning. You don't need any kind of occult knowledge. What you need is a relationship with Jesus Christ. Because God has spoken to us through his Son. And Jesus has given us his word. So if you want to hear from God, get into the Bible. Read the Bible prayerfully, listening for the voice of God, and you'll be able to hear clearly what God has to say. God bless you. Have a great day.